Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to the dceu Extra. Well, we haven't done one of these for a while, have we? Ray Fisher speaks out about Flashpoint. Let's have a look at this. Ray Fisher revealed that he had conversations with Andy Muschietti last year about the Flash script and adds that every version of the movie had Cyborg in it. It would have been hard to remove him from the Flash. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? So Ray's saying that it is actually a difficult thing to remove him from the Flash. Ray is saying this on purpose. He's already had discussions with the director, being last year, but seeing when only in the end of March last year is quite nearby rather than quite far away. And so it's been interesting with Ray Fisher lately. Even in response to Ann Sarnoff's Variety hit piece, he wasn't too strong. He didn't come out with new revelations. He called her tone deaf, and he kind of defended his position, as I would expect him to, Ray being Ray. But there's an interesting thing. The other day he was talking to someone, and he said he would like to still be in the Flash movie, but he said there's things in life more important than movies, and some things need to be sorted out. So he's reasserting his position. But he's not saying he's not interested in playing Cyborg in Flashpoint. Now, I told you people a long time ago when the shit hit the fans that Ray Fisher could still be in Flashpoint. And you were saying, Ray said this, Ray said that. Forget what Ray said. Ray's in a fight, right? Ray is in a fight, right, for fairness. And I understand that. A lot more now than I did before. But, I think that Ray wants to be in Flashpoint, and if there's a situation, why is Ray talking like this now? I think, listen, the kind of reaction to Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is universally positive, nearly, right? There's always going to be dissenting voices, and those voices can be ignored, but it seems to me that if I was Warner Media right now, forget about Warner Brothers Pictures, they don't really have that much authority in this situation anyway. Yes, they run the cinematic group of Warner Media, but they can be overhauled. There are other people who are superior to them, like Jason Kilar and John Stankey. So right now, Warner Media are going to be saying, Jesus Christ, look at the reaction to this movie. 1 million tweets to restore the Snyderverse. This is massive. And people and critics and media saying that Ray Fisher is in fact the heart of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut, one of the most successful popular movies, superhero movies, in a very long time. Warner Media are going to want to slide Ray Fisher back into Flashpoint. So right now, I would think there's big discussions and big negotiations with Ray. I think Ray is in talks probably with Warner Media rather than Warner Brothers Pictures. I said on today's DCEU Daily, I expect Ann Sarnoff to lose her job eventually, but it won't be officially the sack, the firing that you'll think it's going to be, but she is going to be sacked, but it won't be that way, and you're going to have to wait a few months down the line for the official line to be Ann Sarnoff has moved on. She's got a better position somewhere else. I think this is where we're heading. This is what we're heading for, because that hit piece has been a PR, a public relations nightmare, and people have been fired for less. So I do expect Ray Fisher to be in Flashpoint. I think it's important that he is. I would expect the other Justice League members from Zack Snyder's Justice League or Justice League or whatever, right, to be at the beginning of the Flashpoint movie when the universe is as it is before he goes forward or goes back in time, changes his mother's death, saves her life, and creates his new universe with Keaton in it and some other characters, probably Nicolas Cage's Superman as well. And so I expect the whole Justice League to be involved somewhat in Andy Muschietti's Flashpoint movie, and I certainly expect Ray Fisher to be slid back in to Flashpoint. For me, that's really exciting, something I want, and I know most of you want it. Some of you may not want it unless the Snyderverse is restored. I do expect Ray to be in the Flashpoint movie, and it's exactly what I want to happen. This is a subject I wanted to talk about for a long time from Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder explains why Darkseid forgot the location of the anti-life equation in Justice League by Molly Edwards. Zack Snyder explains why Darkseid apparently forgot Earth held the ultimate weapon. Zack Snyder has explained why Darkseid forgot the anti-life equation is on Earth in Zack Snyder's Justice League. In the movie, Steppenwolf is shown the location of the anti-life by the mother boxes. When Steppenwolf tells Darkseid of his discovery, the Big Bad takes a far more of an interest in the proceedings on Earth. Though thousands of years previously, Darkseid arrived on the planet and discovered the anti-life equation himself. Snyder explained the villain's apparent forgetfulness on Vero. He almost died when he returned to Apocalypse, Darkseid's planet. He was in a fight for power and much time passed before he was in a position for power again, and by then all who had been with him had been slain. We see Darkseid almost killed by David Thewlis Ares in the history lesson sequence of the movie, and Wonder Woman explains that as the invading forces beat a hasty retreat from the combined armies of Earth, the mother boxes were accidentally left behind. In fact, Wonder Woman's description of the mother boxes powering down also helps explain why Darkseid lost sight of the anti-life. They grew weak, dogs without masters falling asleep, awaiting their return, fading from the view of the enemy, anonymous among a trillion worlds. In the Snyder Cut, Superman's death awakens the boxes, and so brings Earth back into Apocalypse's crosshairs. Snyder has said that Justice League 2 and 3 would have seen the nightmare timeline come to pass. Darkseid conquers Earth and Superman succumbs to his mind control via the anti-life equation after Lois Lane's death. The second movie would have focused on the surviving heroes trying to send flashback in time to the exact right moment to prevent the nightmare unfolding. While the third film would have seen the armies of Earth unite to take on Darkseid once more, while it seems unlikely Justice League 2 and 3 will ever see the light of day, if you're caught up on all 4 hours of the Snyder Cut, you can check out our deep dives into the movie below and find out how to watch DC movies in order for the ultimate movie marathon. Listen, it's quite interesting. First of all, what I would like to say is, right, Darkseid says he has conquered or he's turned 100,000 worlds to dust. Literally, it's thousands of years ago when he first came to Earth and saw the anti-life equation. So even if he wasn't dying and all the other stuff that happened on Apocalypse with him, and I think those flashbacks on Apocalypse and everything he's been through will be referenced in Justice League 2. Yes, unlike the media, I believe we will get Justice League 2 and 3. I'm very confident about restoring the Snyderverse. I wasn't after the sign-off interview, but now after the reaction to it publicly, it's going to happen, and there must be discussions right now, I am sure of it. So it's a long time from the moment he discovers the anti-life to when Steppenwolf discovers it in the present day. So you can kind of understand, if he's conquered so many worlds, Earth is going to be a little blip to him. He's not going to remember it. He's been through so fucking much. So that's a really, really good explanation. So it's a plot hole people found, but it's also something that I never kind of thought about too much because I thought, the guy's been on so many worlds. Why would he remember that world? And then he'd maybe be confused. Say, well, where did I see the anti-life? I saw it somewhere. And it happens, ironically, when Steppenwolf tells him that it's the only world that stopped him from conquering it. So he's obsessed now. He wants Steppenwolf to conquer it so he can go there and reclaim the anti-life equation. But here's the thing. Even if he has the anti-life equation, he has to translate the equation. And Zack's already told us how that's going to happen. Riddler, Lex Luthor, we're going to do that and give kind of the translation to Darkseid. And then Lex even explains to Darkseid that he needs to control Superman to be able to conquer Earth and to conquer the Dominion that he wants. So it's all there. Zack's got all this planned as usual. Zack's a planner. Zack's got a map. Zack's got a vision. We need to restore the Snyderverse to see these things come to light. This is interesting. Now, before the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut, he was asked a question about if the "Do you bleed" moment is in there. Now, we know in BVS, Batman says to Superman, "Do you bleed?" And when Superman flies away, he says, "You will." Now, we know the same line was uttered by Superman. So here's the situation. Snyder Cut of Justice League. Now, remember, this is an old article, so it's like we haven't seen the film yet. Snyder Cut of Justice League will cut Superman line that literally makes no sense. The original line was a callback to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Zack Snyder has confirmed that his cut of Justice League has omitted one specific Superman line from Joss Whedon's 2017 movie because it literally makes no sense. Screen Rant picked up on an exchange between Snyder and a fan who posted a question to the director on Vero, quizzing whether Superman asked Batman if he bleeds in his cut of Justice League. In the theatrical release, this line of dialogue is delivered during a confrontation between the Man of Steel and the Cape Crusader, in which Superman utters the line, "Do you bleed?" while gripping Batman's face. Now, Mohammed Zain 10 asked Zack a while back, does Superman say, "Do you bleed?" to Batman? Zack says, no, that literally makes no sense. Despite being a callback to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, Snyder apparently wasn't a fan of the line reappearing in the Justice League script, as he confirmed it has been cut from his version of the movie because it literally makes no sense. Twitter user Charlie ZSJL screenshotted the interaction and posted it on social media for fans to share and discuss. Snyder has been sharing teasers of Justice League ahead of DC fan, blah, blah, blah. This is a really old article. But anyway, does it make no sense for Superman to say, "Do you bleed?" Right. First of all, that was never going to be in there. Zack said he'd rather burn the whole fucking movie than use anything Whedon did. So that makes absolute sense that he wouldn't use it. But does it make sense? I actually think, and I don't want to be shot for this, and I'm not saying it should be in the movie. Nothing Whedon done should have been in that movie, and the movie's fucking perfect. Zack wanted to put his movie out there and not have anything that Whedon did. That would have been absolutely hurtful for Zack, and I get that. But we're just debating here, does it make sense? I know it's easy just to dismiss everything that Whedon did. Because it's interesting, because a lot of the talk is that Warner Brothers Pictures and Whedon wanted to get as far away from Batman versus Superman as possible. But then you have this reference, a callback from the other film, Batman versus Superman, which apparently they were embarrassed by and wanted to get away from because it was such a polarizing movie and the reaction to it was really kind of divisive, right? So then why did Whedon put it in there? It's a callback to the film, this polarizing film that some people love and some people hate. I'm a lover, not a hater, by the way, as you all know. I actually think it makes sense. I think it's a great callback, but I don't think Zack should have used it because it's not part of his movie. It's not part of his vision. But I think it makes absolute sense, right? As a callback, Superman knows damn well, I don't know about his state because he's still confused and stuff at that moment. But the moment, the face, the CGI on his face as he says that is horrible. It's embarrassing, right? But him just saying, "Do you bleed?" is a really nice callback to Zack's previous movie, actually. And maybe a little kind of sign of respect from Whedon. Now, we know Whedon was slaughtering Zack and his vision while shooting his version of Justice League or whatever you want to call it. But it's interesting that Whedon actually gave a callback to that movie as well. It's weird. I think it's a nice little callback, but that is just my opinion. Now, a lot of people have criticised, and not a lot of people, a few idiots have criticised the appearance of Martian Manhunter in Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. And this article by Andy, whose surname I can't pronounce, from Screen Rant, makes a good point why he's actually in the film. Some people say there was no point to him. The whole point, first of all, was to reveal that Swanwick is Martian Manhunter, say one, right? And secondly, another point for him being in the movie is to inspire Lois to, accept Clark's death and move on and go back to the Daily Planet. As he says that when he walks out and reveals himself as Swanwick, he says, "The world needs you too, Lois." So there's a little arc there. It's important. It matters. But revealing that Swanwick is Martian Manhunter is very important. Justice League Lois arc proves why Martian Manhunter didn't need to fight. Lois Lane's arc in Justice League was the major and good reason why Martian Manhunter didn't take part in the battle against the Apocalypse. The thing is, they could have done with him, but he didn't reveal himself then. And it's only after the fight, when he goes to see Bruce Wayne, he realises he's been hiding too long. Don't forget, he's been affected with what happened on Mars, obviously, and been in hiding. A protector of Earth from the distance, if you like. But, yeah, totally. Martian Manhunter didn't fight in the climax of Zack Snyder's Justice League or in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice or Man of Steel for that matter, but Lois Lane's arc showed why J'onn J'onzz didn't need to fight. One of the elements that got restored to the Snyder Cut was Harry Lennix's General Swanwick, who is revealed to be none other than Martian Manhunter. But while he does reveal himself to be iconic DC character, J'onn only appears in a handful of scenes. While the Justice League comes together to take on Steppenwolf, J'onn never partakes in the fight. Martian Manhunter does appear in the final scene of the Snyder Cut, where he opens up to Batman that they inspired him to start protecting this planet too. And you know what? If we do get a Justice League 2, when we get a Justice League 2 and 3, I expect to see a lot more of him, which would be even more exciting. But there have been some that criticise why Martian Manhunter never helped the heroes in Zack Snyder's Justice League, even though J'onn admits to Bruce Wayne that he knew about Darkseid and the anti-life equation. Why didn't he join the other superheroes against Steppenwolf? Even though Lennix has only a few scenes in the Snyder Cut, his character played a crucial role in the background this entire time. The biggest one besides his moment with Batman at the end is when Martian Manhunter was posing as Martha Kent, who was checking in on Lois as she was still mourning the death of Superman. However, that moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League would become crucial for Lois's arc for the rest of the film. Thanks to Martian Manhunter, it's partially through him that Lois decides to start living again, as she hadn't at work since Superman died. Even though he was disguised as Clark's mom, it's Mom! It still showed how much J'onn still cared for Lois's well-being. Well, she's the one that ultimately makes the callback to the Daily Planet. Had Lois never left her apartment, she wouldn't have been able to help Clark get his memories back. Even worse, he probably would have killed Bruce. When the Justice League resurrects Superman, he storms up into the air and floats in the skies, which is how Lois finds out that he's alive. If Lois hadn't gotten out of her grieving period, Superman would have most likely defeated the Justice League. If she hadn't shown up to help him, remember, even if it wasn't Martian Manhunter's intention, that is still a better arc for him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, even if he didn't join in for the showdown. Additionally, it honours Lois and Swanwick's history from Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, absolutely. Dawn of Justice. They may not be friends, but they did become allies throughout those two past DCEU movies. To see J'onn, despite having taken the form of Martha, looking out for Lois' strengths, the emotional core of the Snyder Cut. While the team was trying to stop Steppenwolf and bring back Superman, Lois was pretty much on her own throughout most of the plot. As cool as it have been to see Martian Manhunter show up in the climax and join the team, J'onn encouraging Lois to get back in the world was far more compelling and even more impactful than if he had been a proper member of the team at that point. That's why his moment with Bruce at the end makes so much sense, because it was because of Justice League that J'onn was inspired to come out of the shadows. While Zack Snyder's Justice League may be the first and potentially last time fans get to see this version of Martian Manhunter, he still had an incredible arc that connected so well with Lois Lane, whose healing became important for when Superman was brought back to life. Very good article, Andy, and I agree with this. Now, you can kind of analyse this. Clearly, it was Snyder's plan not to have Martian Manhunter fight and be a big role in the film in the first place. And you can kind of analyse that and question that, but it makes sense that he wants these characters that he set up originally for this fight. And maybe Martian Manhunter is now part of the group, so in the sequels, he would be more part of the Justice League. He would be part of the Justice League, which would be, of course, really exciting. And finally today, this is an interesting news from an account called What's on HBO Max. I don't think this is an official HBO Max account, but it's a good one. You should follow it. The Snyder Cut led to a sharp increase, plus 64%, of HBO Max app downloads for the week ended March the 28th. Wow! That tells you everything. So if you tell me that the Snyderverse isn't going to be restored, you're not paying attention. Comment down below. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.